Game over, man. Game over.
Game over indeed.
Welcome back to the After the Credit Show.
I'm Metal D.
And I'm Mike.
Wow.
Game over, man.
Indeed. Indeed.
We are here to talk about not one movie.
Not two.
Not three.
Let's go for four.
Alright. We'll leave out those verse movies.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. No,
we'll talk about those some other time.
Yeah, probably Prometheus as well. Right?
Yeah. If you haven't guessed by now, by the title of this video, by the fact this DVD Blu-ray collection is right here, or that there's a little alien figure right here, or by my quote from the beginning of this video, we're here to talk about the movies Alien. Alien.
We've been wanting to do this one for a while. We kept putting it off, but we figured, well, might as well do it. So let's talk about it. Which one do you want to talk about first?
We might as well start with the first one.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. A brief history about me seeing this film. I actually saw it at the theater when it came out back in 1979.
I wasn't alive.
You weren't alive?
Nope.
Oh boy, you missed a lot of good movies that year. Yeah, I actually saw it in the theater, and the trailer for me is what roped me in. It was all quiet-like and everything.
It wasn't like a trailer today where you get all the story of the fucking movie before you get to the theater.
It just left that air of mystery. It's like, okay, what am I going to get? And in space, no one can hear you scream. Then it had all these quick cuts, and I was like, holy shit, I got to go see this. And I did, and I recently watched it, and I tell you what, it still holds up. It really does. Compared to some of the stuff that's out there today, it still does hold up. It's got this mood to it, that this dread throughout the whole film. It's about all these workers and whatnot on this ship, and they're all out there and just by themselves, and
see, this Alien was when the third movie came out is when I actually started to hear about the series.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and watched the first movie, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Right.
It was the beginning of my love of science fiction movies.
Mm.
This was the movie that was my gateway drug to science fiction.
Got you into it, huh?
Yep. So.
Oh, it was a good gateway, that's for sure. And I tell you what, I still love the first one. That's not going to change, I don't think, even 30 some odd years down the road.
And the fact that it just takes the simple idea of a horror film, which is Spam in a can, and just puts science.
I'm not even sure I would consider it to be a horror film. It's
not necessarily, but there is aspects.
There's aspects of it, yeah.
Especially in this first one.
Yeah. The chest bursting, alien and stuff like that. Yeah, that's. I mean, there was so much.
When I went to Universal, the ride that they have, there was a cool part that's all aliens. It was my favorite part of the ride because the alien comes down at you.
It's got to be. All in all, though, I think that movie is, still spectacular today, and it was one of the few movies that spawned a sequel that actually, I think the sequel trumped it.
It did.
Because it was a little bit different of a movie than what the first one was. The first one was, was this moody thing, and it was really dark, and just...
You barely saw the alien in the movie.
Right. But in the second one, they went back to the planet and whatnot, and they, brought a bunch of Marines with a bunch of guns in it. Yeah, it doesn't.
But they were on a rescue mission.
Right.
They were there to save the colony that had started up. When you're starting a new colony on another planet, if there are aliens there...
You might want to move.
Yeah. Especially if their blood is acid.
So it took a little bit different direction. It did keep aspects of horror, but it was more of an action film than it was.
And we had Ripley back.
Yes.
And was Bishop in the second one?
Yeah.
I know he shows up in the third one.
Yeah.
So,
he was in the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while for me for the second one.
Of course he was in the second one. Because, he did the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, it took it into a more of a better direction, I thought. James Cameron directed it, and it was just an all-out action flick. And I tell you what, you don't even have to really watch or be a fan of the first one to get into the second one. And that's rare when it comes to a series, because usually you have to watch the first one to figure out what the hell's going on, where these characters were and everything.
The only problem
This explains a lot.
I really like the end of this movie.
Yeah.
With Ripley, the Marine she saves, I can't even remember his name, and Newt.
Newt, yep.
I liked that ending. I was all ready to go for the next movie.
Yeah.
And then I was shit on.
Oh my God! All right, now this is where it starts to get bad. David Fincher ended up directing the third one, and there was nothing really wrong with his directing. It was the script that was absolutely horrendous.
The studio apparently was in a lot of the space.
My God, I don't know. There must have been 18 rewrites.
The names on Alien alone is just interesting because you have Joss Whedon that worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Jean-Paul, I can't remember his last name, that did Delicatessen and Amelie.
Yep.
David Fincher, James Cameron,
yeah.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, yeah. But the third one just took this turn that was just, you know, I remember going to the theater expecting so much, and then probably 5 minutes into the movie you find out that one of the characters that you wanted to have be in the third one is dead.
Well, let's be frank, all of them except for Ripley are dead.
Right.
I mean, you get Bishop's head regurgitating some stuff for a few minutes.
Yeah, but, you know, Newt survived in the second one.
But she didn't, because apparently a facehugger broke into her pod.
Oh, my God.
There were rumors at the time after this movie came out that they were going to do a fourth movie, and that the third movie was all going to be a dream, and that they were going to correct some of the mistakes.
Oh, I wish it was
Sadly,
just a
that
dream.
never happened.
I wish it was just a dream, because, my God, this was just horrendous. Anyway, she ends up on a prison colony of all places. Like, this is going to help matters.
Yeah.
You know, they have no weapons.
The alien spawns from a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And we find out that Ripley is impregnated with a queen.
And Newt's dead.
Yeah.
Terrible. So
we have one female character in this movie with a shaved head.
Yep.
And apparently Sigourney Weaver got paid a bunch of extra money to shave her head for that role.
Oh shit! I wonder if I can do that.
No.
Oh.
But honestly, this movie, not very good for the Alien series.
Nope.
In the end, Sigourney Weaver killed herself.
Yeah.
So, you'd think that's where the franchise would end.
So, yeah, after the debacle that was 3, they decided to do Alien Resurrection, which to me came across as a serious cash grab.
Yeah. You had big name actress at the time, Winona Ryder.
Yeah, and of course Sigourney Weaver comes back, but she's not herself.
No, she's a clone.
She is a clone from, I don't know how many Ripleys there were, thousands, I guess.
You got Joss Whedon working on the script. You got that John Paul guy as the director.
Yep.
So, of course, you have a couple of his regular people in there. You got Ron Perlman in there.
Right.
Which is one of the highlights of the movie. I'm sorry, you take Ron Perlman or Danny Trejo and throw them in a movie, and I'm a little more excited for it.
Fine. No, I could go along with that. It was just, it was not...
A mess.
Yeah, it was a mess, you know. So then, it was on its way to, Earth?
Yes.
Yeah, and, you know...
We'll never know if they made it.
we will
and
never.
That baby clone hybrid thing at the end.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just, no. That should have never been done. They should have just stopped at 2, because obviously there was too many hands.
Here's the sad thing, though. If they made a new one, I'd be right there to go see it.
Unfortunately, I think that you would be right, and I would be too, yeah.
Because while the last 2 entries in the series have not been good, the story overall, the story of Ripley, is something I'm interested in.
Right. And, you know, honestly, if they did make another one, I'm not sure that Ripley really needs to be in it.
Right. But they'd probably throw her in there for a cameo.
If they could figure out how to bring her back and be normal.
Well, she was still alive in that last movie.
But she wasn't herself.
Well, Winona Ryder was a cyborg.
Yeah. So, see what I mean? It's confusing.
So let us know what you thought about the Alien series.
All in all, I would have to say it was a great series.
Yeah, if you think they should make more outside of the Alien vs. Predators. For After the Credit Show, I am Mike.
Metal D.
Since 2013,
we've been reviewing movies, good or bad.
For your pleasure.